Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really special, a guide for parents of 2-year-olds that can turn simple, everyday playtime into a powerful foundation for lifelong learning. So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with the #1 rule of how toddlers learn. And from there, we'll build up to some really cool, advanced games that teach things like empathy and critical thinking, all based on how your child's brain is naturally wired to learn. Okay, first things first. The single most important principle to understand is that toddlers learn about the world through their senses. They are masters of the physical, the tangible, the concrete. So what does that actually mean? It means we have to start with reality, with physical objects, way before we can introduce abstract ideas like feelings or concepts. A toddler, for example, understands bed long before they can really grasp the concept of sleep. They know apple, but not hunger. This is our starting line. It has to be real first. Now, let's actually put this idea into practice with our first tool. It's a really simple but powerful game you can play literally anywhere with anything. And it lays the groundwork for some incredible cognitive growth. Here's how it works. You just pick an object your kid is already focused on, let's say a bed, and you take turns describing it with just one word. The only rule, at least in the beginning, is to stick to what you can physically see or touch. So, imagine you're playing with your 2-year-old. You've picked the bed. You could start with the most obvious physical parts. You say, wood, and they might point and say, legs.
Then you say mattress, and you just keep going, back and forth describing everything you can both see and touch. Sheet, pillow, even its color, like brown, or its shape, like rectangle. This simple game is building a really rich vocabulary of the physical world around them.
But how do you know when your child is ready for more? Well, here's the cool part. You don't have to guess. If you play this game often enough, you'll start to see this fascinating leap happen in their thinking. This quote right here. This captures the magic moment you're going to be watching for. One day, while you're playing the exact same game, their answers are going to totally change. So instead of wood or legs, they might giggle and just blurt out, jumping.
Or maybe they'll yawn and say sleeping.
Or even something amazing like happy. And that is a huge milestone. They're not just describing a physical thing anymore. They're describing experiences, actions, and even feelings that they associate with it. They're connecting the seen to the unseen, right in front of you. This leap from the concrete to the abstract is just a beautiful window into their cognitive development. It's the sign that their mind is ready for the next level. And hey, if you're finding these insights helpful, it would be amazing if you could take a moment to like this explainer and subscribe. That way, you won't miss what's coming next. So once they've made that leap, you can introduce a more advanced game. This one doesn't just build their vocabulary, it actually teaches the very foundation of creative and scientific thought. This game is all about building the skill of inference. I know, it sounds like a big, fancy word, but it's really not. It's just the ability to connect the dots, to see a relationship between two things that don't seem related. And that skill is crucial for everything, from problem solving to innovation. So here's how you play. You give them 2 totally random concepts, and you ask them to build a bridge between them. And here's the most important part. There are absolutely no wrong answers. Your only job is to get curious and ask, wow, how did you connect those? For example, how in the world does a person connect to the sky? Well, a young child's mind might work like this. A person is a human, and humans are people, and people build airplanes, and airplanes fly in the sky. See that? It's a multi-step logical chain that they built all by themselves. You're not teaching them what to think, you're teaching them how to think. Okay, let's see how these powerful principles, inference and abstract thinking, apply to a game your kid might already be playing. Because once you know what to look for, you can elevate pretty much any kind of play into a profound learning experience. Think about when your child plays doctor. You can go way beyond just put on a bandage. You can introduce some incredibly complex ideas. Ask about how the patient feels. That's empathy. You can introduce abstract concepts like fatigue instead of just a boo-boo. You can even teach ethics by creating a little scenario with multiple patients and asking who we should help first. You're using their game to help them understand the world. So, after all this, what's the ultimate takeaway? Where do all these games lead? Well, it's about a fundamental shift in how we look at learning in these crucial early years. It's really about shifting our whole mindset. Instead of pushing for them to just memorize colors and numbers, we can focus on nurturing curiosity, critical thinking, and that incredible ability to see connections everywhere. These games teach a child how their own mind works, and that empowers them to become a creative, empathetic, and resilient learner for their entire life. Turns out, the most important school might just be your living room.
Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If this resonated with you, please share it with someone you know. And for parents who are looking for a little more one-on-one support or guidance, feel free to reach out directly using the contact information you see on the screen.